Aliens?
Aliens.
Yes. But maybe no. Welcome to the show. Aliens, yes, but maybe no. Josh and Travis. I'm Travis.
I'm Josh.
And this is an otherworldly podcast as ambiguous as our title.
Yeah.
Hmm?
It is. So how are you?
I'm good. How are you?
I'm doing good. I feel like, we've talked in the past about, being my best self, and I feel like I'm getting there quicker than I have in the past.
You got to being your best self?
Oh, no, I'm not there. I'm getting there faster than I have.
So it's like a wave for you.
Yeah, there's a little bit more momentum.
Okay. What happens when you become your best self? Do you say time and then immediately start making bad choices?
No, I morph.
Okay. Like
The Animorphs.
Animorphs?
Yeah. I will be my final form. Hopefully some kind of tiger.
Oh, you want to be a tiger? Wolf for me, I think.
I can see that. Like a teen wolf.
Teen wolf, yeah.
Yeah. Real confused and scared.
The oldest teen wolf ever.
So the listeners don't know this, but Travis and I and Jordan are going to UFO Fest in Oregon.
Great. I have not got tickets yet. Now you're going to announce it. Now there's not going to be a ticket available for me.
We can sneak you in.
We're all according to plan, though.
You'll just drive us, I guess.
Yep. I'll just sit outside. It's right in wine country, so it's not a bad place to have this.
That's true.
All according to plan.
I'm looking forward to that. I think it's just going to be a lot of fun. Jeremy Corbell's going to be
what's
there.
What's it called?
UFO Fest.
Is that what it's called?
Yeah.
No.
Yeah. You're the one that told me about it.
Well, then that has to be right. Of course, it's UFO Fest. Who'd you say was going to be there?
Jeremy Corbell,
Mm-hmm.
and he's going to be doing a live interview.
Who's he going to interview?
It's going to be someone from the congressional hearings that has not done a live talk or interview yet.
Oh, it's going to be Grush.
I'd be down.
Yeah, you can go up there and give him a little kiss.
No, come on.
A big
now.
kiss then.
No,
You give him a big
gay.
kiss.
Hey. But yeah, if any of you are going to be in the area, you should definitely go and then come say hi to us.
Yep. Just follow our voices.
Yep.
We'll be the ones talking there with everybody else talking.
Travis will just be saying ambiguous over and over.
Just so everybody knows.
Yep.
I'll be saying, hey, or bye.
Yep. Just those three things.
Yep.
What did we talk about last time?
I don't know.
Was it Spaceballs? No. Oh, it was the Project Bluebeam.
Yeah, blue beans.
Yeah, that was a rough one. I don't like it.
No, it was very scary. It left us with a lot of big feelings.
Mm-hmm. And I've talked about it with a handful of people since then too. And everyone's just like, yep, checks out. Because it does. It lines up with a lot of stuff. That's what's making those big feelings happen.
Yeah, we talked about that at the end of the show.
Just go listen to the episode. It was really interesting. But we did a quiz at the end like we always do for our next topic. And do you want to say the title this time? Because I said it a lot last time.
This is probably most scared Josh has ever been because today we're going to be talking about vaginas.
No.
Yeah, this is a topic that Josh is not very comfortable talking about, and it makes him very scared.
What's that?
He's like, what even is that?
It's not vagina.
Varginha.
The
Varginha incident.
Yep. So we did some research. We watched a really cool documentary called Moment of Contact by James Fox. He just goes down there and investigates and lays out the story really well. So I'll link that in the show notes so you guys can check it out. It's worth it for sure.
Pretty good. It's a little long.
Yeah, but I got into it. About halfway, I was hooked.
I would not suggest trying to watch it if you're going to also be doing chores.
Yeah, there's lots of subtitles.
Which is what I did. Pulled up YouTube, put on the old headphones, and started choring. And then I was like, wait a second, I'm missing something.
It's definitely worth it. So give it a shot.
Yeah.
That's what we're going to talk about today. I'm pretty pumped.
Yeah, I think it's interesting. I think there's a lot to dig into here.
There is. So we're going to head down to South Brazil, time travel to 1996. It's hot, it's humid, and something cigar-shaped is flying through the sky over the state of Minas Gerais. Within days, there are crash rumors, strange metallic debris, 3 terrified teenage girls, a dead military officer, and whispers that the United States showed up to quietly take something home. This case gets called Brazil's Roswell, but here's the twist. It didn't happen in 1947. It happened in an age of camcorders, emergency rooms, and air traffic control logs. Instead of one rancher and a press release reversal, you get farmers, pilots, doctors, military police, and hospital staff, most of whom don't even know each other, telling overlapping versions of the same story. So this episode, we're asking, did something non-human crash in Varginha? Was there a biological retrieval? Or did some small Brazilian city get caught in the perfect storm of rumor, military secrecy, and human pattern making?
A lot of questions being asked there, Josh.
I'm a question man.
You are a question man. So, on the early morning of January 13, 1996, residents across the region of Minas Gerais reported seeing a strange object moving erratically. Several accounts claim that NORAD, the North American Aerospace Defense Command, detected an unidentified object entering South American airspace and alerted Brazilian authorities. On the ground, witnesses described something similar. Farmers, Oralina and Eurico Rodriguez, reported being awakened between 2 and 3 a.m. by frantic animals, dogs barking, cattle agitated. Looking out, they saw a cigar-shaped object hovering silently, wrapped in what they described as white smoke. It was roughly the size of a school minibus. No wings, no visible propulsion, no flames.
Yeesh.
Yeah. Did that give you the heebie-jeebies?
Yeah, I mean, just seeing a school bus in the sky, like something the size of a school bus.
It wasn't a school bus. It was a cigar.
I know it wasn't Miss Frizzle.
It was but it was roughly the size of a school minibus.
But just seeing something like that in the sky at night, like you wake up, you look out the window, you're just like, oh, like that would make my chest sink.
Yeah. Carlos de Souza, an ultralight pilot and geography professor, gave one of the most detailed accounts. He said he saw a cylindrical metallic craft struggling in the sky near Varginha and followed it. He described it moving unsteadily, almost wobbling, and noted what looked like a gash or tear in the rear, emitting thick white smoke. What was causing that smoke?
I don't know. That's kind of what I was thinking, because there's no flames, there's no propulsion. Those are like the two things that make smoke. Maybe they just had a smoke machine.
It was inside of the craft. That's the question.
Oh, so I mean, maybe there was some malfunction, overheating of something.
They said there was a big tear, like they crashed into something.
Yeah.
Or something crashed into it.
Yeah. So, according to Carlos de Souza, the object descended onto the Malini farm on January 13th. When he reached the area, he claimed to find a debris field spanning what he estimated as roughly 2 football fields. At the center was a circular burned area approximately 40 meters in diameter with vegetation that appeared damaged and discolored. De Souza said he handled thin, foil-like fragments that were extremely light, almost weightless. And when he crumbled a piece in his hand, it supposedly returned instantly to its original shape without crease or tear. This memory metal was a term and description also associated with Major Jesse Marcel's experience with the debris from the 1947 Roswell incident. That was the whole tinfoil versus memory metal debate. So Carlos also reported a suffocating odor at the site like ammonia, sulfur, and rotten eggs, which was strong enough to burn the sinuses. He was saying that he had like cover his face with his shirt because it was so bad and his eyes were burning. And he said it lasted in his nose for like 4 days. Before he could investigate further, military vehicles arrived. He reported being threatened at gunpoint and ordered to leave. The area was allegedly cordoned off by personnel from the ESA, a Brazilian army installation in Três Corações. Officially, the Brazilian military later stated that nothing unusual occurred.
Classic.
It's damn owls. No, not even owls. There's nothing. Nothing. That would piss me off.
Okay, Josh. Now we're going to get into the real spooky shit. The creature in the garden. On January 20th, 1996, this is 7 days later from this crash.
Jeez.
Around 3:30 p.m., 3 young women, Lelaine Silva, Valkyra Silva, and Katya Xavier, were walking through the Jardim Onder neighborhood of Varginha when they passed a muddy dirt lot beside a concrete wall. That's when they saw something crouched against the wall. I should say at the top of this, Portuguese is not our native language. We're going to get a lot of these pronunciations wrong, and they're going to sound bad.
Oh, yeah.
Please be cool about how our white mouths pronounce Brazilian words.
And it's not the main point. Don't get distracted by us saying the wrong thing.
Get distracted by it. I'm just letting you know.
No, don't.
Josh doesn't want you to get distracted by it.
No.
I'm saying maybe make it your whole personality and let us know.
With a 5-star rating.
As long as it's a 5-star rating, sure.
Yep.
So They passed a muddy dirt lot beside a concrete wall. That's when they saw something crouched against the wall. First, the girls assumed they were looking at a sick or injured man hunched over. But as they got closer, they noticed details that didn't make sense. They described a being approximately 4 to 5 feet tall, brown, oily skin, extremely thin arms and legs. It had large red eyes, 3 times the size of human eyes, and no visible nose or ears, and 3 distinct ridges or horn-like protrusions on its head. One of the most consistent details across witnesses in this case is the smell, the same ammonia sulfur odor reported at the crash site.
Ugh.
Despite the creature seeming frightened and weakened by the intense Brazilian heat, they were terrified that it was a demon.
Makes sense.
Yeah, you're going to associate it with something that you know. You're not going to just jump to aliens.
No.
The girls ran home in a panic and told their mother, Luisa Silva, what they had seen. Rather than dismissing the story, she loaded them into her truck and drove back to the lot to see for herself. At the site, Luisa reported seeing unusual footprints in the dirt where the creature had been crouched against the wall. The impressions did not resemble typical human or animal tracks and appeared to show only a few long toes. By that evening, word had spread quickly through the neighborhood, and reports of a strange creature in Varginha began circulating, soon drawing the attention of local authorities. By that evening, military police were involved.
Ugh.
But I think some of that smell is like, we don't know a lot about alien biology.
Right.
Josh, would you say if you get worked up and are in a panic, would you say you would probably have a smell?
Well, you're saying like if I get scared, I send out a different scent?
I'm asking you.
I don't know. I don't think so.
You don't think you get sweaty and set off like a fear pheromone? I bet you do.
Maybe. I haven't noticed.
Okay. Well,
is that a thing? Is that a thing that humans do?
Of course it is. Yes.
Okay.
Yeah. And if you get sweaty, Josh, you don't notice a weird smell?
No. When I get sweaty, I mean, yeah, there's body odor. Sometimes it smells, sometimes it doesn't.
Yeah.
It depends on if I'm scared or not or stressed.
Yes, you can tell there's a definite different smell when you're stressed.
Interesting.
And when you're scared versus just working out.
I never knew that.
But also this alien has been running, is stressed out and is in a new environment and is scared. And we don't know what its biology is. So it's probably sweaty, which we'll talk a little bit about later as somebody catches this creature with their bare hands.
Yeah. I want to go back to the scent. The woman, the mom, said that she could smell it in her nose for like 20 days. She even washed her nose out a whole bunch trying to get it out, but she couldn't.
Mm-hmm.
So you mentioned the capture. As word about this creature started spreading through the town that afternoon, local authorities got involved pretty quickly. Reports began circulating that something strange had been spotted moving through the area, and members of the military police were dispatched to investigate. One of the officers connected to what happened next was Marco Eli Cheresi, a 23-year-old member of the military police who worked in P2, the intelligence branch of the force. So according to multiple witness accounts collected later, officers encountered and captured a second creature sometime that evening. In several retellings of the event, Cheresi is described as physically handling the being during the capture. Some accounts say that the creature scratched him under his arm while he was restraining it. At the time, it didn't seem like a major injury, but within a few days, Cheresi became seriously ill. He developed a rapidly worsening infection and was hospitalized as his condition deteriorated. Doctors attempted treatment, but the illness progressed quickly. On February 15, 1996, less than a month after the reported encounter, Marco Cheresi died. Official medical records list the cause of death as septic shock resulting from a bacterial infection.
Yikes.
Yeah. So this is where interpretations start to split. Some researchers who have investigated the Varginha case believe that the infection was unusual. They argued that the bacteria appeared resistant to treatment and progressed at an alarming speed, suggesting the possibility of exposure to an unfamiliar biological agent. Others point out that the septic infections, particularly aggressive bacterial infections, can escalate extremely quickly even in young, otherwise healthy people. Hospital-acquired infections and antibiotic-resistant bacteria were also a growing medical concern in the 1990s. So here's the facts. They're simple, but unsettling. A young police officer was involved in the reported capture of a strange creature in Varginha, and then 2 weeks later he died from a severe systematic infection that no one really could explain. So whether that illness was connected to the encounter or an unfortunate coincidence is still debated today. But the story doesn't end with the capture, because if the reports are accurate and a living being really was taken into custody, the next question is, where'd it go?
Where did it go indeed?
Yeah.
Reports claim that at least one being was transported to Hospital Regional and later to Hospital Humanitas in Virginia. Dr. Italo Venturelli, a respected neurosurgeon, later stated that he had face-to-face encounter with a creature in an ICU setting. That's wild. He described it as conscious, aware, and possessing an advanced intelligence. He claimed a form of telepathic communication, a sense that the being conveyed calmness and reassurance. Another physician, Dr. Marcos Vinas Neves, is said to have performed a cranial procedure to relieve pressure from head trauma. Hospital staff reportedly complained of the same overpowering ammonia-like odor. Some accounts state that entire wings were temporarily closed for cleaning. There is no publicly released medical documentation confirming treatment of a non-human patient. The case rests heavily on testimony, some given years later.
Yeah, like the guy who did the x-rays and the scans. I mean, he didn't even get a look at what pictures he took. It was just instantly taken. So, I mean, it was just, they showed up and they left and didn't leave any trace other than a really shitty smell. But I mean, it's weird. I mean, it seems like that's the case even in America, where something happens and then there's no trace of it. Like with the Tic Tacs, a helicopter drops on the ship and takes all the logs from radar. And then there's just no trace. I don't know why they just try to hide it. I don't like it.
Oh, I don't either.
One of the more persistent elements of the Varginha narrative is the alleged U.S. involvement. Mm-hmm. So air traffic controller Jose Manuel Fernandez later stated that a United States Air Force aircraft landed in Campinas during the incident without typical authorization procedures. According to the story, helicopters transported recovered material, possibly including the biological cargo, to the aircraft, which then departed. The Freedom of Information Act requests in the U.S. reportedly yielded limited results, with some documents withheld under national security exemptions. So, can't figure it out. Witnesses, including the Silva family and the Carlos de Souza, describe being approached by men in suits who offered money or issued vague threats. But extraordinary claims require extraordinary evidence. And most of the Varginha case rests on layered testimonial consistency rather than the release of physical proof. That's the hard part about this whole thing. Like there's a lot of testimonials and they all line up. Like there's a lot. You get like farmers, pilots, doctors, military police, and hospital staff. There was also firefighters. They caught one because they caught two. And I think that was one of the more disturbing things for me is someone explained that when they caught it with a net. The creature was crying like a child. And I was just like, oh my gosh, I feel horrible for these aliens. Like they crash, they're scared, alone, sick. Stinky. They are being chased and captured. They're scared. Mm-hmm. Man.
Yeah.
Ugh.
It's pretty scary.
No wonder they don't want to come down.
But they just keep doing it.
Yeah. You think so?
Are you trying to get an answer out of me?
Yeah.
Yeah, of course.
Oh, so, you do?
I just don't think there's just the evidence that we have is just.
Yeah, that's the hard part. We don't have evidence in this situation, but it's kind of one of those things where enough testimony is evidence for me.
Yeah.
It seems like.
So what makes Varginha endure is the overwhelming accumulation of details from vastly different witnesses. A craft reportedly seen struggling in the sky, a debris field with strange metal and chemical burns, multiple civilians describing the same being with brown oily skin, oversized red eyes, 3 cranial ridges, a documented military response, a young officer who dies weeks later from a catastrophic infection, claims of U.S. involvement, allegations of intimidation. Individually, each piece has an ordinary explanation available to it. Military exercises get misinterpreted. People misidentify injured animals. Infections can turn lethal with terrifying speed. Governments withhold information all the time. So all these things are normal singularly. But in the context of this one incident, it kind of is a bit of a brow raiser.
Yeah.
But when you stack the pieces together, the pattern becomes harder to dismiss outright. The smell described at the crash site matches the smell in the hospital.
Yeah.
The physical description given by the 3 girls aligns with what military personnel later described. Medical professionals with reputations to protect insist they encountered something profoundly unusual. When you step back, something definitely unfolded in Varginha in January 1996. This was extraterrestrial contact. It was messy, biological, and deeply humbling for all involved. If it wasn't, then we're looking at one of the most bizarre, elaborate, and resilient modern UFO narratives ever constructed.
For me, watching this documentary and seeing the interviews from 1996 and people today, new people being interviewed, it is probably one of the most convincing things because it just seems so real. And these people, they're not actors. They're just normal people. For aliens, yes, maybe no. For me, man, this is like a straight yes for me. I think this did happen. If it didn't, it would just like, why? But having that many different people encountering it and experiencing it, having a part in it, telling the same story, not knowing each other, and then also having the US come, take whatever it is, cooperating with the Brazilian government or military. The military's barricading things off. I mean, it is, something happened.
Something definitely happened.
Yeah.
I agree that something happened.
And I think it was aliens.
Okay. Yeah. That's the whole thing this is what you do at the end of every show. You say yes, and then I have to say no, but I'm going to say this is probably a high maybe for me.
Ooh.
A lot of things that happened here that are inexplicable. And the guy who brought James out to that crash site, I think that's the testimony that I found the most moving. Although I was a little annoyed that the camera was like trying to get in his face about it to see him cry. And I was just like, just let him have his moment.
Yeah.
You don't have to see his face. And that was the big problem I had with this documentary is they were just trying to like get in the faces of people experiencing trauma or setting things up in almost a fake way, like, oh, we're going to go to this place and then I want you to point where the alien touched you. And so that's what they did. They went to the garden or whatever and they pointed to where the alien was. And I was just like, it just seems so contrived. But the testimony, like I put aside the way that this stuff was shown to me and just listened to what these people had to say. And it felt to me like something happened.
Yeah, I feel the same way. That scene where the guy went out to the crash site.
And he just led them out there on like a memory.
Right.
It's like, I remember there was a hill and it was in this area. And then he asked him to stop. And then he just starts running and he's saying, a key, or here.
Yeah, that I watched that twice because that was very powerful and very real. Even the best actors in the world wouldn't be able to duplicate that, I don't think.
I don't agree with that. Putting this guy, I don't know. I don't agree with that. I think the best actors in the world, come on, the best actors in the world, Josh, like, come on. They could act their way into that scene. No problem.
So you think Mark Wahlberg could do that scene?
You didn't say that. You said the best actors in the world.
I mean,
I think Mark Wahlberg could do that scene. I don't think that it would be very,
very good.
I don't think it would be very good. I don't think I'd want to watch it. But I think Mark Wahlberg, I think he's a good actor when he's put in the right spot.
Yeah. Is there a movie where Mark Wahlberg cries?
I don't know. Maybe Ted. Maybe Signs. I don't know. I mean,
yeah, maybe.
There are probably some times where he gets emotional.
Yeah.
He kind of built himself up to not do that.
That's true. Yeah, the testimonies were huge for me. That was the only reason that I believe that this is 100% because there's so many from so many different areas. So that's where I stand. You're a high maybe. I like that. That's a yes in my book.
Okay. Well, I tend to be a high maybe on a lot of these. It's not that like I said, it's not that I don't believe aliens exist. I do.
Oh, yeah.
I just don't believe a lot of the evidence that's given to us. And I don't think that it's presented in a way that's very believable.
Yeah. And there's no evidence here, no physical evidence or anything, because it was all what it sounds like from testimonies. It's gone.
Yeah. You don't think that footprint of that lady Drew was evidence?
No.
In the documentary, the T-Rex foot?
The mom?
Yeah.
Nope. That's still testimony. Good foot, though.
What about when they pointed to where the alien was?
Nope. That's not physical evidence.
How much later was this documentary? Was that smell still in her nose? Could that be evidence?
This documentary was 27 years later. Well, cool. Get a hold of us. Tell your friends about us. Let us know what you guys think about this story. I think it's probably the most believable story I've heard so far.
Okay.
And I'll wrestle you for it.
Well, no need.
No, we can do it.
I believe you feel like this is the most believable story we've done.
I don't like saying wrestle. I'll just say wrestle.
You chose the word.
I know, but I regretted it. But yeah, give us some feedback.
For sure.
We want to know how we can improve. If you have questions,
We'll read your reviews. If they're 5-star, then we'll read it.
Yep.
For the 4-star, though, it's going right in the trash.
Yeah.
I mean, we'll read it, but we'll not read it out loud, and we'll just be so disappointed. Maybe a little hurt.
I would be.
All non-5-star reviews we take very personally.
Mm-hmm.
My kids only eat when I get 5-star reviews.
Out of like spite?
I can't afford it.
Oh, you get paid per review? You're getting paid?
We should probably wrap this show up.
But yeah, we don't have any right now.
I think it's your turn, Josh, then to vamp and talk about something you're interested in to incentivize our listeners to start giving us reviews.
I think you're right.
A little section we call Punish the Listener.
I mean, one thing recently that I've been really into is Expedition 33, the video game.
Okay.
I've been playing that real hard.
Is it a hard video game?
It is. So hard that I actually switched to story mode, and it's still kind of hard.
I always start at story mode. I'm a sucker for stories, though.
I always just do like the regular, and I'm fine. This one, a few hours in, I'm just like, this is taking way too long. But yeah, it's just a beautiful game, very French influenced. French music, they dabble in some French language here and there. French outfits. Very beautiful game, too. I believe it won Indie Game of the Year last year.
How are you playing it?
I'm playing on my Xbox.
Okay.
It's a RPG, and it's very interactive during the fights. It's very story-driven. One of the better stories I've experienced, played through, or heard. I'm not going to give anything away. I just recommend it. If anyone likes video games at all, I recommend it. And that's my corner.
That's good. Nice little corner.
Yeah, Josh's corner. So now it's quiz time.
Quiz time.
Doodle-doop.
Is that the music?
That was. I'm not even going to do the music. I think I nailed it.
Yeah, no, you did. It was really good. I had to look at the screen to make sure.
Yeah, you did a big double take.
Uh-huh. Yeah, my monocle popped off my face.
Mm-hmm. This is our topic for next episode. We don't know what next episode's topic is.
But we will.
We have a researcher that makes these quizzes for us and sets up the next topic.
Oh, this is your favorite.
Oh.
The Anunnaki.
Yeah. Yes. Okay. So our next episode topic is Anunnaki.
I'm excited for this. This will be fun.
Yeah, this is going to be great. I'm pumped. Ooh, I'm going to get so crazy this next week.
Mm-hmm. You might even treat yourself.
I will. A little snack and some Y-Files.
Yep.
I'll do that. I might pull out some old books that I have.
And just look at them and say, yep, they're still here. And then you put them back on the shelf.
Yeah. Dim the lights and then pull them off and like blow the dust off.
Mm-hmm.
And then put it back.
Yep.
Okay. So first question. What ancient civilization does the mythology of Anunnaki come from? Is it A, Egyptian, B, Phoenician, C, Olmec, or D, Sumerian?
Well, I feel like I am operating at a disadvantage here because I don't know shit about it. So I'll start.
Okay.
Sumerian is my guess.
I'm going to say Sumerian.
Okay.
Next one. What does Anunnaki roughly translate to? A, star travelers, B, royal offspring, C, sky warriors, or D, children of fire?
Ooh.
I don't know. I feel like it would be sky warriors.
That's what I'm saying. I locked it in.
Yeah, I locked it in too. Okay, next one. Who popularized the ancient astronaut interpretation of the Anunnaki? Is it A, Zechariah Sitchin, B, Eric von Daniken, C, Graham Hancock, or D, Robert Bauval? I'm going to say Graham Hancock.
Okay.
Graham Hancock, isn't he the one that does those Netflix shows? I mean, he's done lots of documentaries, but he did the Netflix show where he kind of investigates older civilizations.
Are you asking me?
Yeah.
I don't know.
Oh, okay. Well, I'm going to say him.
Okay. I'm going to say I like the way Robert Bauval sounds, so that's what I'm going to say.
Okay. All right. According to ancient astronaut theory, what resource were the Anunnaki mining on Earth? A, gold, B, silver, C, copper, or D, uranium? I think I know. Yeah. What do you think?
I think it's silver.
Okay.
I don't think it's uranium because there's no way ancient civilizations would know what uranium is.
So I don't know for a fact, but I'm thinking gold because that was a very prominent thing in a lot of these ancient cultures.
So is silver. So is copper.
Okay, next one. What planet did the Anunnaki come from in these theories? A, Sirius B, B, Lanulos, C, Mars, or D, Nibiru? Isn't Lanulos the planet from Valiant Thor?
Yeah, I think so.
I think so. Mars, never heard of that.
No, I don't even think you're saying it right. Mares, maybe?
Mares. Yeah, that sounds right.
Yeah.
What do you think?
I'm going to say Nibiru.
That's what I'm going to say too.
Okay.
Okay, last question. What race of gods rebelled against the Anunnaki? Is it A, Titans, B, Asuras, C, Seraphim, or D, Igigi? Igigi.
I hope it's that one. Well, I'm sure it's not the Titans. Titans are Greek, came later.
Yeah.
I don't know about Asuras. Seraphim is biblical, but those are angels, right? I'm gonna say that's what I'm gonna answer. That's my answer.
I feel like that is going to be my answer too. I don't remember exactly what they are. I don't know. I think they are angels, but I don't know if it's because the Anunnaki are basically gods.
Well, I submitted my answer.
Okay, submit. I'm going to view my accuracy. Ooh.
Seraphim translating to burning ones are the highest order of angels in Christian theology, known for having 6 wings and surrounding God's throne while crying, holy, holy, holy.
Okay.
Originating from Hebrew.
So I did not do that well. I got 3 correct.
Uh-oh.
So first one, what ancient civilization does the mythology of Anunnaki come from? I said Sumerian. You said Sumerian. The answer is Sumerian. Next one, what does Anunnaki roughly translate to? I said sky warriors. You said that too, right?
I did.
It is actually royal offspring.
Mm-hmm.
Checks out. Makes sense.
That checks out.
Yeah. From all my knowledge of royalty and offspring and ancient language.
Yeah.
Next one, who popularized the ancient astronaut interpretation of the Anunnaki? I said Graham Hancock.
I said Robert Bovel, but I wanted to say Zechariah Sitchin because there was Hancock and then Sitchin, and I just thought it was funny.
I noticed that too.
I wanted to say that to compliment your answer of Hancock, but I went with Bovel like an idiot.
Yeah, so Zechariah Sitchin. All right, next one. According to the ancient astronaut theory, what resource were the Anunnaki mining on Earth?
I said silver, which is not correct.
I said gold. That was correct.
Because it was gold, which you said, which was correct.
Yes. And what planet did Anunnaki come from in these theories? We both said Nibiru. That was correct.
Great.
We love it.
Great. We love it.
And then what race of gods rebelled against the Anunnaki? We both said Seraphim. It was the Igigi.
E-G-G.
Igigi?
Yeah.
I like my pronunciation better.
The word Igigi is typically pronounced E-G-G. It comes from Akkadian Babylonian mythology, referring to a group of heavenly spirits.
Whoa. Okay, cool. Well, I'm really excited. I basically just learned bits and pieces here and there. It'll be cool to get the big picture.
Yeah, it's been your favorite since the beginning. This is a showstopper for you.
Mm-hmm.
When you first told me about it, I thought it was made up.
I can see that.
It sounds like a made up word, but spoiler, all words are made up. So
you're right. They are. I never thought of it like that. It's blowing my mind right now. Nothing is real.
No, it's not. Nothing's real. No more or less real than it's ever been.
Yeah. Other than 5-star reviews, those are real.
Those are the realest thing I've ever come across in all of my explorations.
Well, cool. Well, I'm excited. Thank you for listening. Thank you, Jordan, for everything you do. Quizmaster, dossier writer.
Yep.
Like we said at the top of the episode, we are going to UFO Fest in Oregon. So if you guys come, let us know and we'll try to say hi.
McMenamin's UFO Fest.
Yeah, it'll be a good time. Well, we will chat at you later.
Hey, thank you. Bye.
Bye.